The Empire's first encounter with humanity. The Galactic Empire had seen countless worlds fall under its shadow, planets teeming with life, cultures rich in history, and species that all bowed before the might of its fleets. Yet, as the Empire's scouts ventured into the unexplored reaches of the galaxy, they encountered something that sparked an unexpected curiosity: a small, blue world on the edge of the Milky Way, called Earth. The first report from Admiral RYYSS Kranich was a simple one, but with an underlying tone of intrigue. Unremarkable, but promising. Technology is primitive, but the potential for conquest is high. As Kranich's warship glided into orbit, the planet below appeared much like the countless others they had already subjugated. Beautiful, lush, but fragile. The Empire scouts had encountered civilizations on similar planets before, species that were weak and malleable, eager to serve their new masters. But Earth was different. Kranich's chief strategist, Countess Thalara Valen, stood in the command room, her silvery hair cascading over her shoulders as she stared at the planet's surface. Her eyes, a piercing violet, scanned Earth's surface, noting the pockets of technological development. Primitive, yes, but their history, it is unlike anything we've encountered. What do you mean? Kranich asked, his voice thick with disinterest, though his curiosity was piqued. Thalara turned to face him, her face unreadable. Their history is one of endless conflict, wars, genocides, constant turmoil. They've fought wars for thousands of years, and yet they still thrive. They might appear weak on the surface, but their blood-stained past speaks of something far more dangerous. They do not succumb to defeat. They adapt. This is not a species to underestimate. Kranich considered her words. He had faced countless species, soft, weak beings who collapsed the moment the Empire's forces landed. Yet there was something about this Earth, this humanity, that unsettled him. It wasn't their lack of technological prowess. It was their resilience, their inability to stay down when pushed to the edge of annihilation. Could this world be tamed? Or would it prove to be a challenge that even the Empire could not overcome? We shall see, Kranich said, his eyes narrowing with anticipation. We will begin preparations for the invasion. A swift strike should suffice. Their primitive weapons won't stand a chance. But as the warships descended toward Earth, a ripple of uncertainty lingered. The Empire had not yet encountered a species with such a storied past of war, and Kranich had learned long ago that hubris could be a dangerous thing. In the heart of Earth's United Nations headquarters, representatives gathered for an emergency summit. The world had just received the news. The Galactic Empire, a force with the power to destroy entire planets, had set its sights on Earth. As the world leaders debated, a figure stood apart from the crowd. General Maria Cortez, a former military strategist who had seen the worst of humanity's wars. Her face, weathered by age and experience, was hard as steel. Everyone's talking about defense, about treaties, but no one is asking the important question, Cortez said, her voice cutting through the murmur of discussions. What kind of war are we dealing with here? What kind of force are we up against? A younger diplomat, eager but inexperienced, stepped forward. We have our nuclear weapons, advanced robotics, and defense systems. Surely, we can hold them off? Cortez shook her head. You don't understand. This is not the kind of enemy you fight with weapons alone. This is an empire that has crushed thousands of civilizations. Do you think our technology will be enough to stop them? The room fell silent. Cortez's words had hit their mark. Humanity had faced many adversaries in its time. Alien forces, monstrous creatures, other humans bent on domination. But the sheer scale of the Empire's might was something beyond anything Earth had ever known. And yet, Cortez's mind worked furiously, connecting dots, drawing from humanity's violent history. You need to understand something, she continued. We've survived the worst wars. We've seen cities fall, entire generations wiped out, and still we fight. Not just with weapons, but with something far more dangerous. Our will to survive. The Empire may think they're invincible, but they've never faced an enemy like us. Cortez's words had an effect on the room. The leaders turned their eyes toward her, not just as a strategist, but as a person who embodied humanity's bloody history. She was not a mere soldier. She was a living testament to what humanity had survived, and what it could still endure. Meanwhile, in the cold, unyielding depths of space, Kranich sat in the war room, his fingers dancing across a holographic map of Earth. The invasion will be swift, he declared, his confidence unshaken. Send in the first wave of ships. No mercy. This world will fall like all the others. But as he issued the orders, something gnawed at the back of his mind. He had seen humanity's history on the data feeds. Wars, yes. Genocides, yes. But he had also seen something else. The unbroken spirit that seemed to permeate their every struggle. Even in the darkest hours, when Earth had been on the brink of collapse, humanity had found a way to rise again. As the Empire's forces prepared to strike, the final thought on Kranich's mind was one of quiet doubt. Could they truly conquer a species that had faced such a turbulent, violent history and still stood?